Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there is nothing more satisfying than assuming a position above someone else and gazing upon their work with judgmental eyes. And so that is what we're going to be doing today. As you can see, you guys have been putting some replays in my clan. I didn't even ask for it in particular this time. You guys just chucking them in there, which I appreciate because I'm now going to judge them and harvest you for content. So thank you guys very much. But we're starting off with this fella, and I don't know what this is all about. And it's all Japanese characters, which is why I clicked on it. It enticed me, and straight away I can see we've got Evo Mega Knight in the deck, and it's a log. It's a Goblin Battle first play for the enemy. Sorry, not a log. What am I talking about? Okay, not really much you can do against that with the old E-Spirit as well. Scarby can full defend Goblin Barrel, but not when there's an E-Spirit being thrown out there. We're leaking Elixir already. Why are we leaking Elixir there? You could... Okay, all right. Okay. I've already got some things to say about this match. What's going on? Why are we stunned? Why are we stunned silence here? Why are we doing niche? You can place Executioner at the back here, get it out in the field, get a little cycle going. Fair enough, you don't want to go for Evo Mega Knight, Mega Knight back, which, you know, would be another play to cycle round to your Evo. Fair enough, you don't want to do that though, because it's 7 Elixir, and you know, it's a bit of a commitment. You don't know what he has yet. But why are we doing niche? And then why have we placed out Evo Exy in the middle? Why do I say Evo every time? Why have we placed out Exy in the middle? Anyway, Sparky as well. What am I looking at here? Jesus Christ. Okay, this is something. This really is something. But we've put down a Sparky, does deal with the Knight, and now you're a little bit down on Elixir here, and this guy's got log bait, so he can defend that pretty comfortably. Yep, that's going to be E-Spirit and Gang. Yep, okay. All right, we're in a bit of a shambles here. I'm interested to see if we manage to win this game. Mega Knight, why? What? Mega Knight users, I swear, you cannot stop yourself. You can't stop yourself, but use it in the bridge. I see it so often. There's a Mega Knight in cycle. What, 3 goblins? You're going to drop a Mega Knight on it. To be fair, your deck is kind of crazy. You didn't have too many good options there. But Mega Knight, like, you know, yeah, he actually had no good options, to be fair. This deck is whack that you're running. I'm not going to lie to you. We're going to talk about that after I finish reviewing this game. But Mega Knight there, kind of mental. Especially since this guy's got log bait. I mean, to be fair, if you don't know, you don't know. But log bait players often use Inferno Tower. This guy isn't, but you don't know that. And so, like, yeah, he just put down the Inferno Tower here. You're cooked. You're like a million Elixir behind. He's got a princess out that you can't kill. You're cooked. But let's see. Are we going to Scarby that princess while the princess is targeting the Mega Knight? That could be a play. Or are we just going to save up for the old... What's he doing? Now your opponent's leaking Elixir. He goes for Knight. Interesting. Yeah, fair enough. And we do go for Lumberjack there to take it out. And then he Tesla's late. Fair enough. All right. Tesla gets taken out by the Lumberjack. That was kind of weird, dodgy placements from the boy. He didn't need the Tesla, really. Although I guess he kind of did because your Lumberjack might have caused him issues. You know what? Fair play. I'll allow that. I'm getting a bit too judgy here. Your Hog Rider gets a hit, though. We take that. In this economy, with the way we've been playing so far, we take that. Executioner low on the left. Yep, nice. You kind of... had a pretty big counter push on you though from that yikes, that Goblin Gang being sacked has done a lot of damage to your tower, but not really much you can do there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're kind of low on Elixir, having to use that Lumberjack to take out the princess and having a Mega Knight get killed. Okay, gang the bridge. Why are we gang the bridge there? That's obviously going to get logged. There's no need to. Were you even at 10 Elixir? You weren't even at 10 Elixir. It's not like you needed to cycle there. Like, save it. Let him... There's nothing wrong. In fact, let me just talk here for a second, because I'll tell you what. When I spectate your games, a lot of you guys just, like, either leak Elixir or use Elixir when you may as well just wait. And, like, you got to get used to both. Like, sometimes, like, yeah, using something here. Now, okay, we didn't leak very much. I'll allow that. But, like, yeah, not leaking Elixir, I feel like is more common. Like, you guys know about leaking Elixir. You guys know what to do there. But also, like... just saving up for 10 sometimes is fine. And also, I tell you what, if we're going to get really advanced, sometimes leaking Elixir is fine as well. Even mid-game, sometimes you just want to leak in a bit of Elixir because you want to let your opponent go first. But that's a bit more advanced to know when to do that. Sparky in this deck is crazy, by the way. Sparky, I would say, is a bottom 10 cards in the game. Kind of trash, and it's probably never going to be good. But it is fun, so I can respect it. You know what? I'm not going to say don't use it because it's trash. I'm not going to do that to you. Because if you want to use Sparky, you want to use Sparky. We've got Evo Mega Knight out in the field here. Had to use it on the Golden Barrel, and this is a really tricky game here. How are we going to come back from this? Maybe we're not. Maybe that's why you sent it in. Maybe you want the tips, and I will provide. But I just want to watch this game first, see where we go. Evo Mega Knight is going to be causing him a bit of issues here. The most he's got is Knight, which is going to get jumped on. How did that charge up and jump? Hog Rider goes in. Oh, he's got another Tesla. That is unfortunate. Oh, the princess gets absolutely... Wait, you have freeze in the deck. Of course you do. Well done. Okay, wow. Okay, I like that, though. I like the mix-up. It didn't go anywhere, but I do like that. You had to do it, to be fair. You had to try and seek something. Are we going to be able to come back from this game? Tell you what, though, he's got log bait. And the thing with log bait is they're always going to... Yeah, Scarby defends that, surely. Surely Scarby defends that. Lovely. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Well played. And we know it doesn't have, like, a zap or anything because he's got log. And, yeah, like, even a pre-log on a Scarby like that won't be able to do it because you use it too far back. So that is actually, you're actually okay on defending the Goblin Barrels. You got to place XE here. You don't want this Princess. Oh, okay, we've gone for Goblin Barrel, and is that going to be damaged? Is that going to be dead? Yeah, it's going to be over surely. Yep, okay, all right, okay. Okay, I tell you what, I want to see more of this. I want to see you guys putting in your losses into the chat because there's a bit more I can do here, a bit more advice I can give here. So I'm going to hit replay, and I'm going to go start from the top with the deck. So we've got Executioner, Lumberjack, Skarmy, Sparky, Freeze, Hog Rider. This deck is so expensive, and I think you'll have a lot easier time if you just have some more like cycly cards in there. Cards, you know, like let's say for example skeletons instead of skeleton army, right? Skeletons can still be used to kite things. They can still be used to count like a mini pecker or something, right? And then 1 elixir instead of 3, that can help. And then if you need to just cycle around something, you can just use that 1 elixir and it's going to get you there, rather than, you know, there was a situation where yeah, you used Mega Knight on the goblins early on here. Was it here? Yeah. So you got 3 goblins pushing you, and look at the options you have. Right, pause just as the Mega Knight crushes it. But yeah, your options are here. Freeze, you don't want to do that. Skarmy, the princess is going to shoot your Skarmy, which is why you were turned away from doing that. Now, Skarmy could work here, to be fair, though. Like, the princess definitely isn't going to kill the entire Skarmy, so with good timing, that can stop you from getting any damage here there. Or Hog Rider. Maybe you could use the Hog Rider to tank the goblins and then go for a hit. Honestly, that's probably what I'd have done. Or you just sack it and go for a Mega Knight at the back and just charge up a big push and just sack the spear damage. Like, you don't have any like good quick options, whereas like I said before, skeletons, you pop down skeletons, maybe you're going to take like 1 spear hit on your tower because obviously the goblins will kill the skeletons, but with good placement and timing, it's going to do like a pretty decent defense, and that's 1 elixir rather than 7, you know what I mean? Same with like Ice Spirit or E Spirit or like some sort of spirit, like something in there like is just good to have, I feel, for situations like this, because right now you've got to commit to something big, like either a Skarmy is your cheapest thing in your deck, and like even that's quite a big commitment, especially when it's got a princess out on the board. It's probably just going to die to the princess, you know? So yeah, I would say, I mean, I said earlier like Sparky's trash. If I wanted to say like purely on making the deck better, I'd say just don't use Sparky. But if you want to use Sparky and even Mega Knight, I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to stick to the roots of your deck, and like we'll go with that. Executioner might not be the play. Executioner is just one of them weird cards where it's like 5 elixir, it's quite the commitment, and like it's not that good. It's kind of just one of them cards where you need the certain sort of deck for it to be worth. So I'd say maybe get rid of Executioner and then maybe go for like a Musketeer. Musketeer is standard, works in any deck, very versatile, very easy to use cards. And then maybe even if you got Evo Musketeer, you could use that over like Evo Lumberjack, you know, like that's an option you have. I think Evo Musketeer is actually a really fun one and good one to use. But yeah, XE I just don't think is a great card, particularly if you're not using the Evo. Like I said, 5 elixir, it's a lot. Then, as you can see here, I've paused it here, we've got Skarmy and Goblin Gang in the same deck. That's 2 swarm troops that are going to serve almost the exact same purpose, and you're not running a bait deck. Like I can kind of see why you'd want more than one, because like you use your Skarmy, they log it, then you can go in with Goblin Gang sort of thing. It's like a little bit of a log bait sort of thing going on there, but it's not worth it. You're not running a log bait deck. You don't have the princess, you don't have the Goblin Barrel, you don't have those sorts of win conditions. If you wanted to do that sort of thing, go for Goblin Barrel instead of Hog, get rid of the freeze, go for log, and then like have a Dark Goblin in there maybe, even instead of your XE. Like you want that cheap sort of cycle stuff. That's why you see in the log bait decks, like even your opponent here, he's got himself his princess and his Goblin Barrel, and I think he had Goblin Gang as well. They're all things that are typically worth logging, and you don't have that many logs. So that's what log bait is, and I referenced log bait in a lot of my videos, but that's what it is. But yeah, in your deck you don't need both, and that's why I was saying like get rid of the Skarmy, put in skeletons, and I would say honestly get rid of the gang as well and put in like an Ice Spirit. Skeletons and Ice Spirit, 1 elixir, super good cards for 1 elixir, and like you've got the other stuff in the deck to kind of deal with stuff. So like with that, like even if like then you might struggle against like a Pecker maybe, like that's like you might want to swarm troops for that, but then like, if you're kiting with your skeletons, you've got Ice Spirit to slow down, and you're doing damage with your Musketeer that you put into the deck if you're taking my advice. You can deal with anything with those cards. Like you don't need those 2-3 elixir cards, and just by having the 2 1 elixir cards instead, the cycle is going to be better, and you're going to be able to just do more. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Like given the cards that you have in your deck and the matchup, it was going to be a really difficult win either way. Freeze as well is like I don't want to say to you to not use freeze, because freeze is so fun. So I don't want to be that guy, but it's difficult to kind of harness, you know? Because I mean, realistically, if I were to just give my best advice, I'd just recommend a meta deck to like anyone, but that's boring. I don't want to do that. I want to kind of base it off what you want to play. replay. But yeah, thank you very much for sending in that replay. I appreciate it. I appreciate that there wasn't just a trouncing. A lot of you guys just sent in like a trouncing 3 crown. But anyway, that's okay. Sometimes I've still got some advice to give. So let's go on to the next. And we're watching Crimson Skibidi's game here at 3.6k trophies. I didn't even see the trophy count in the last game, which I feel like is a good thing. I quite like to go in sort of blind in that respect. But yeah, let's see what we got here. And we got ourselves, again, another kind of mid-ladder menace deck. I'm not going to lie. We've got Prince, Valkyrie, Executioner, all these big heavy cards. So we'll see where it goes. And then Goblin... Whoa, Goblin... Goblin Gang and Wizard. Oh my god, and Knight. Okay, right. So honestly, I want to just give a general piece of advice to anyone that's like kind of in the lower ranks. Get used to using cycle cards. Like, even if it's just having Skeleton in your deck or Ice Spirit in your deck, like, they're good cards for 1 elixir, and when you can kind of get used to having them in your deck, they're so good. Like, you don't need all these massive cards, and the more you play, the more you kind of appreciate needing to cycle round to the new cards, like, when you need them, which you can't do if your average elixir is like 4.4, which it is in this deck. But nevertheless, we'll see how it goes. We did get off to a pretty good start, actually. Let's just go back here. Let's have a little look at what happened. We go for the Prince counters the, what was it? The Prince counter. The Prince counters the Ram Rider. So he Ram Rider the bridge first play. Bad play, because this might happen. You counter it with your Prince. Sure, he gets his 2 hits, but then you've got a Prince and Executioner push to deal. Then he's got a Prince and Executioner push to deal with. So I believe he does Skarmy here. He's also used Boss Bandit. That's a big elixir commitment. He uses the ability as well. And yeah, you're just cooking him with the Executioner there. So, but hang on, let me just see what he could have done here, because I feel like he definitely had a better option than using the Boss Bandit there. What would I have done here? I'd have maybe Boss Bandit the middle to get the dash out. Actually, yeah, I'd have just waited probably, because I would have wanted to Skarmy it or use my Goblin Gang on it, and then Boss Bandit the middle after. But anyway, like, he could have defended that way better than he did, is my point. And then, yeah, he goes in here. You use your Knight to defend the Boss Bandit and pop a Valk down there because of the skeletons. And yeah, obviously Knight doesn't do it all. Fair play. Oh my god, this guy's got level 12 Boss Bandit. Jesus, this must have been a horrible matchup for you with your level 9 cards. That is rough. But you did say that you beat him, so we'll see how you managed to pull that off. Well, you're off to a good start, though. And he's got another Sparky user. Damn, okay. But yeah, as I was going to say earlier, Wizard and Executioner, you never need both of those cards in the same deck. Like, functionality-wise, they're pretty similar in when you use them. They're just like, it's like having Hunter and Musketeer. Like, they're very similar. Like, you just don't need them both. Whatever one can do, the other one is going to do the job a pretty similar way. Not a good usage of Executioner there, I'm not going to lie, because that's just going to get killed by Sparky, or hit by Sparky at least. Like, if you wanted to use your Executioner to defend the pigs, you place it in the middle, kind of like maybe just above your King Tower, because then if the Sparky's attacking your Princess, it's not just going to get hit. Also, God, right, okay, let's just have a look at this push, because there's so much going on. Sorry, it's hard to just give general tips and commentary, and then also give tips specific to the game of what's going on. So, what happens here? He's got a Sparky down at the back. See, right now, you don't even have... Right, okay, you fireballed the Sparky. That's 4 elixir, and the Sparky... I don't think that's a worthwhile fireball, but also, given the cards in your deck, like, you don't anything to use, really. Like, well, you don't even have a win condition. Like, straight away, I could say, take out either... Executioner or Wizard, probably Wizard, since Executioner, you got the Evo, it's the new Evo, it's good, it's like pretty good. Yeah, if you take out Wizard, put in Hog Rider or Goblin Barrel or just any win condition, in this situation when he Sparkies the back, you can just go in on the right hand side. You've got the elixir. Let's say you had a Hog Rider. He hasn't got a Sparky to defend. He's just used his Sparky. He's got actually no elixir in this situation when he uses his Sparky. So if you had any win condition in your deck, you could go in on the other side. I tell you what, even in this situation, if you were like really sweating, counter elixir and stuff, just mini Pecker the bridge. He's going to have to then use his Goblin Gang, and then it's another 3 elixir he's had to use, and then he's not going to build up that massive push. He's not going to be able to use his pigs on the left. So right here, you need to be taking advantage somehow of the fact that he's just used his Sparky in the back. And normally I'd say pop your win condition down on the right, but you don't have a win condition in your deck. So put a win condition in your deck, man. Prince is not a win condition. Just something that goes for tower or does damage to tower, like, yeah. So yeah, anyway, we then use our cage on the left. I probably would have done it kind of in the center to kite. Wait, let's have a look at the elixir situation. Yeah, I'd have put it in the middle to kite them in. And then you could use Evo XE in the middle, like, again, like I said, just below the king, and you'd have been cooking. Whereas instead, use it on the left, which is fine. And then you use your Evo XE down on the bottom, and then, like, look, your Sparky's going to hit tower here. That could have been your Evo XE half hit right there. You know, but instead your Evo XE does manage to walk up and get a hit, but then it gets half hit. So, you know what I mean? Like, really, or more than half hit, almost one shot. So, yeah, not a great usage of Evo XE, but that's okay. Let's see what happens here. He's got his XE. That was a bad use of Goblin Gang there. I don't even think he needed that at all. Could have just let your Evo Execution run into tower and it would have been fine. In fact, let's go back again. Let's go back again. I do need to, like, actually lock in here. So use all that stuff. The Evo XE gets killed. Why has he used his Executioner here? He could have literally just done anything else. Could have ramroded the other side and just got a push off on you because you don't have the elixir. Like, anyway, doesn't matter. But yeah, another general tip is, like, just be used to, like, get it in your head that there's 2 lanes. You can go for both lanes. Like, and if they use 7 elixir, like, or whatever, if they use like a P.E.K.K.A. at the back, it's going to take ages for that P.E.K.K.A. to get to your tower. Do some other shit in the other lane while they've just used 7 elixir, you know what I mean? Like, just be conscious of that. That's the thing, because both you and your opponent in this game have not attacked on the other side when that would be the right thing to do. So yeah, just for anyone like kind of in the lower sort of ranks, think about that. Yeah, you go for Prince the Bridge there. That's not a play because he does have Scammy. Yeah, we know he has Scammy. We saw him, man. Use your head. We don't have another spell. Right, we got some serious talking to about the deck, by the way, again after this game. But again, we're going to just keep it watching because you did say you beat this guy. So I want to see what happens here. We're leaking elixir. We don't want to be leaking elixir. Valkyrie the Bridge. You got to do something to Bridge. So, like, based off of my advice earlier, something to Bridge is a good play. But Valkyrie's your best option because you don't have anything decent in the deck. Like, that's bad. Viable value. Okay, right there. Personally, after he uses Goblin Gang here, that's where I'm seeing viable value because the Spear Goblins might do some little bit of damage to your tower, but like, yeah, just getting them out of the way and half hitting that Sparky is going to be value. And then you can Goblin Cage on top. That's a completely counter Sparky. And then you've got a counter push with your Goblin guy from the Goblin Cage and your XC. No damage taken pretty much. So that's where I'm fireballing, but that is pretty quick reaction time. We can still go for the cage. It's value. It's just that he got a few hits from this Goblin on the tower. So, oh, and the Cage Man died. Oh, rough. Okay. Right, so he just got in for pigs. You're going to have defended them with the knight. Interesting play here. Right, he's going to want to Scammy the left. What can we do about that? Oh, you've put down Valkyrie. Nice. I like it a lot. Okay, we've got down Evo XC as well. We're going to mini P.E.K.K.A. on the thing on the right, I assume. Wizard down there. Why have we put Wizard down there? Okay, all right, fair enough, actually. I mean, it does hit it, but like, we could have put Wizard in a place where it's going to get hit, and then you defended your tower a little bit, whereas now, that's so much damage on the tower. One execution hit, that's like 500 damage. You didn't need to take that. This guy's going with his pigs on your king tower for some reason. Why? You want to be attacking the other tower, brother. You're not going to take the king. Knight to tank. Yep, nice, good. Prince here to do with the Ram Rider. Oh, no, wait, no, never mind. You had to Cage, and that was actually a better play. Better play than I even said. Fair play. I like it. We've taken a bit of damage, but that is all right. That's actually okay. Prince there. Why? No. See, now what's happened there is that you got a reasonable defense here, and you thought, oh my god, I've got a bit of an elixir lead here for you to go in. Prince is right into a Sparky. No. You could have actually maybe done that because he didn't have Scammy in rotation. But why? Like, wait for the Goblin to get hit. The Goblin's on 1 HP. If that gets hit, that's fine. And then your Prince can go get the hit. Why have we just placed it so that the Prince is getting hit there? Maybe that's what you meant to do, to be fair. Maybe you wanted it to hit the Goblin and just didn't go to plan. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt there, but no. Bad. Okay, yep. Good Valkyrie. Ooh. Tell you what, though, that's a bit actually frustrating that the Valkyrie went and went so close to the tower that the Baby Dragon did damage. Ooh. Okay. Does this guy not have a spell in his deck? Why doesn't he win? Hold on a minute. Yes, nice. Goblin Cage. We don't even need to. He's played Scum. Wait. Prince the Bridge. Prince the Bridge and you win. Surely. He's got Gang, which is fine. He gangs on top. He's too late. He's done. He's done. The Gang was too late. And this is how you win. Oh my god. What on earth did I just witness? Oh my god. Let's just have a look at the end of that game one more time because a lot went on. A piece of advice for either player in this game here could be to just like change up the decks a little bit. You don't need to have like 4 elixir plus cards in every card slot. In fact, that's a bad thing. And also you, Crimson Skibbity, win condition in your deck. Hog Rider, Goblin Barrel, Royal Giant even, just something, you know. But like I say Hog Rider, Goblin Barrel because they're like easy ones to get used to, you know, and they can kind of go into any deck at this rank. So that's why I recommend those ones in particular. But yeah, win condition, maybe 2 win conditions. Like you don't like typical deck will be like 2 spells, 2 win conditions, and then like, you know, some air stuff that deals with air, tanks, like, you know, but like the other 4 slots are kind of up to you, but 2 spells, 2 win conditions, and then the other stuff is just stuff you like. That's a good way to go about it, I think. And Mega Knight isn't a win condition. Prince isn't a win condition. They're not. Things like Hog Rider, Royal Giant, things that go for towers, you know, they're your win conditions. But anyway, what happens here? Let's have a little look. So okay, yeah, he's got such high level stuff, to be fair. You were taking more damage than you should have done if like you had the higher level stuff. Yeah, why, like that Prince, as discussed, terrible, and it wasn't even like it was going to hit the Goblin guy because it was placed way too early. But yeah, your Executioner gets a bit of value there. All right, let's see what happens here. And then we Valk. Maybe I'd have Valked 1 tile higher, just having a look at it, and I think that was probably like, you know, maybe would have helped you there, like not take damage there. And then he goes in. Okay, cool. Right, so what happens here? Sparky's getting so much value. A small spell as well. When I say 2 spells, I mean a big spell, small spell. So Fireball, log, because then you could log that Sparky, and it's not going to get a million value like it is right now. But anyway, you don't have log, so we're still watching. Then he Ram Riders. Terrible Ram Rider, because it was right into 2 of your cards. And Evo XE, like there was no way that Ram Rider was getting damaged. And then he logs as well into a Wizard and an Executioner. That's the stupidest play I've ever seen in my life. What the heck? And then, yeah, it's actually just wraps from there. I think, could he have defended still? He places down his Executioner and then sort of in the middle, kind of. It's a very specific placement where he could have used his Goblin Gang, I believe, to where it tanks the Prince hit, where his Executioner is still splashing as it is now, as I've got it paused on. And yeah, just your Executioner, his Executioner, sorry, lives a little bit longer because of the Goblin Gang. But honestly, after the terrible plays he pulled off, that was a pretty rough situation to be in. Like, he probably wasn't coming back from that. If he hadn't used his Skami, he might have been all right. Or if he hadn't Ram Rider, he just shouldn't have done most of the things he did. He just saw that you were on 81 health and just went all in. But like, yeah, honestly, that was a pretty bonkers matchup to spectate, I'm not going to lie. My general advice is don't use Evo XE and Wizard. You don't need them both. And have a win condition of some sort. Also, for example, you don't need Mini P.E.K.K.A. and Prince. They're serving the same sort of purpose in your deck. And you don't need Valkyrie and Knight. They're also serving the same sort of purpose. So take out Wizard. Take out probably, I would say, Mini P.E.K.K.A. because Prince is really strong in a minute. So take out Wizard for a small spell. Take out Mini P.E.K.K.A. for a win condition. And maybe even if you want to go crazy, take out Knight for another win condition. Because then you're just going to have things you can actually do damage to his tower with. But yeah, I don't want to go too hard on you. I know obviously you're only at 3k trophies, you're a relatively new player, so yeah, fair play, nice win. And with that, I've all of a sudden been doing this for half an hour, so I'm gonna have to say thank you guys very much for watching this video to the end. If you did enjoy, please do go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and join my clan, because there's still 9 spaces available, and I want to see some replays. I want to see some new, fresh faces in there to send me any replays, so get in there before it's too late, because I'm gonna have to think of another way of you sending me replays soon. So yeah, while we got a nice system going, get in the clan, and I'll chat to you in there. But for now, as I said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.